Good evening, John Wertz here, Montgomery County Tea Party. We're here with Ashton Hedrick, and he's running for JP5. It's November 24th of 2025, 6 p.m. Welcome.
Thank you.
With us is Larry Rogers and Bob Bagley. So as we discuss, if you'd like to, take up to 5 minutes for your opening, and then we'll go into the Q&A.
All right.
All righty.
So I'm Ashton Hedrick, and I am running for Justice of the Peace Precinct 5. I've been in Magnolia for about 27 years. I've been married to my wife for 25 years. She's lived in the Magnolia area for 40 plus years. I've got one son, 3 grandkids. Been with the Constable Precinct 5 office for over 20 years. We've been longtime members, about 15 years, Magnolia Bible Church. So I've served on the Magnolia Education Board. I'm currently the Vice President of Texans United for Freedom, which is a nonprofit organization locally that gives back to veterans and first responders. I guess really the reason I'm here, the reason I'm running for office, just I'd like to round out my career on the other side of the civil part of it, and just continue to keep working and helping our community.
Okay, good deal. Thank you for that. So you've had some well-rounded experience working Precinct 5 Constable's office. That's in Magnolia, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're a school resource officer at Magnolia High School, or have been from 2005 to 2010.
Yes, sir.
And then civil deputy at Magnolia High School, investigator of internet crimes against children up through 2022, and then evidence management.
Yes, sir.
To current and civil investigator. What does that entail?
The civil investigator?
Yes, sir.
So basically, I do all the writ of executions and orders of sales and tax sales for our department. The evidence part of it is I'm over the evidence completely from the time that the deputies put it in the drop box all the way through destruction. I'm responsible for all that evidence. And I'm also been helping bailiff the court and learning the court for the past 4 years that I've been back on the civil side of it.
Okay. So you have also some background as community service volunteer, vice president, local nonprofit for veterans and first responders called TUF.
Yes, sir.
It's Texas United
for Freedom.
Texans United for Freedom. Tell us a little bit about what's involved with that.
So Texans United for Freedom, it's a local nonprofit, 501(c). We raise money to give back to veterans, first responders. We give quite a bit of money to Tri-County. We give money to the VFW, the local VFWs. We've given several $1,000s to the constable departments for training. We bought a dog for Precinct 5.
Okay. Police dog, I take it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Bob?
Oh, I saw there that you wanted to reestablish teen courts within Precinct 5.
Yes, sir.
I was under the impression that all of the JPs had teen courts. Is that not the case?
They do have a special court for teens that get traffic tickets and such. Basically, that's just bringing them in front of the judge. Judge gives them community service for what they committed, a traffic infraction, and then ticket goes away. The teen court I'm talking about, that I would reinstate is Judge Cox. You remember back to her, that was one of the judges of Precinct 5. she did an evening teen court for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe at the most, where they brought officers in and kind of showed them pictures and had discussions with them about what can happen with the speeding and the running stop signs and different things, kind of on top of the community service hours that they would get. Just kind of opens their eyes, I think, and they learn a little bit more from that teen court perspective. Yeah.
If you open that up, we could fill those courtrooms with adults too, that don't know how to stop at stop signs or maintain speed.
That could be an option. That
We
could be an
just had
option.
one of our ambulances crashed in today in the middle of an intersection. Totaled the ambulance. So does the JP have any authority working with Magnolia ISD and the discipline issues within Magnolia ISD?
No, sir.
Okay. So what happens with the discipline problems they have? They just do it internally or not doing anything at all?
The school district handles their own discipline. The JP court has nothing to do with the discipline at the school.
Okay, thanks.
Larry?
Okay. You kind of touched on it a little bit. You might want to go into more detail. Please describe the qualifications and experience that make you the best candidate for office that you're seeking. And you touched on several things. You might want a little more detail.
Yes, sir. A little bit more detail on it. So when I came out of the schools in 2010, well, actually, back up just a little bit. While I was in the schools, the truancy was done a little different at the time. So we used to actually serve truancy papers to the parents that came through the court, basically when the parents were being filed on for their kids missing too much school. So I started there with that little bit of the civil part of it. But once I got out of the school and came to the office in 2010 to the civil department, that's when I went into serving the evictions and small claim suits, divorce papers, tax citations, that type of civil process that a normal civil deputy does in the constable's department. And then for a while, at the end of that, before I went to the Internet Crimes Against Children, I started working with and learning doing the writ of executions, which I don't know if you're familiar with writ of execution, but basically you go to court, somebody sues somebody, monetary value, they get a judgment against them, whether it's a default judgment or a regular judgment. And then that is turned into a writ of execution that's given to a deputy to where they go out and they try to collect the money, or there's assets that can be seized that are outside the exemptions allowed by law that can be levied on and sold at a constable sale to try to satisfy those judgments, which there's you have to figure up there's a lot of math work to it. So it's more of a specialized, I guess, type of civil responsibility.
Okay.
So back to primary goals. You talked about reinstating teen court. Even before that, you said full-time Monday through Friday office coverage and staff flexibility.
Yes, sir.
So 2 questions. Is it not now? And then the updates to the courtroom security and technology for staff. How much is that going to take? So back to the first one, is it not a full-time court right now, Monday through Friday?
No, sir. The offices are closed at noon on Fridays.
Okay.
They're not open till 4 p.m.
Okay, and you want to go till 4 p.m. now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So basically, I would restructure the schedules for the clerks that work in the office to a 980 schedule, so you have 6 clerks, so all 6 would work Monday through Thursday, 9 hours a day. These 3 would be off this Friday. These 3 would work this Friday. The Friday that they work is an 8-hour day. That way the offices are open till
Full staff.
Yes, sir.
Is there a backlog in the court right now?
No, sir, there's not a backlog in, at Precinct 5, but, I just feel that for the community and the taxpayers, that the office should be available for Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, like it should be.
Sure. Okay, and then to update the security and technology for the staff, what are we talking about? How much are we talking? What are you gonna do and how much is it?
So what I would start with is, well, I'll start with JP5 is probably the most unsecured courtroom in Montgomery County. The only security that you have in that courtroom is the bailiff or the bailiffs at the time. There's no metal detectors. There's no wand for the deputies to check anybody that are coming in and out of the courtroom. It probably needs a couple more security cameras. And that money would come out. There's a court security fund that I would, if I remember correctly, it's like $1 or $2 per citation goes into the security court fund. And I think current as to date now, there's probably $300,000 in there.
How much?
About $300,000 for courtroom security. So, and technology also needs to be updated in the courtroom. There's no reason a judge should have to remove themselves from the bench and come down and watch a video on a laptop.
So how much, yeah, how much do you think the upgrades would cost?
Rough ballpark estimate, I would probably say $20,000, maybe $30,000.
Okay, so it's not a big issue.
No,
to get
sir.
the money in there right now.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And there's
Yeah.
some technology that's in the courtroom that it just it needs to be used, needs to be updated, be added to.
Okay.
That seems to be across the county.
Okay.
So in dealing with, everybody likes to have a Friday off and work
Right.
9-hour days, but you're talking about increasing the one Friday to run in an 8-hour day
Yes, sir.
with that. And if you're adding in even once a week, a teen court in the evening,
Yes, sir.
then there's going to have to be a different adjustment for that as well in order to have yourself and you're going to have some assistance in there, I'm assuming.
So actually the teen court, which would be once a month.
Okay.
Like I said, for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours at the most, is what it used to run. Just depending on how many questions and stuff, the kids have afterwards. But that's actually done with the constables. So one or two evening shift constables would actually go into the courtroom with the teens and do and handle that.
Or without you.
I wouldn't, about 99.9% of the time, be there for that. Yes.
I would think that would.
Yeah, unless I was
be
gone to training or out of town or something on vacation, I would be there
What's the frequency on that?
once a month.
Once a month?
Yes, sir.
So I know that the area is large within Precinct 5, and the number of people are basically the same in all of the precincts as far as the population. And I know 5 is really spread out like 1 is.
Yes, sir.
1 has 2 offices. Is there a need for y'all to have 2 offices, or is the one office sufficient for y'all?
I think the one office is
Everybody
sufficient.
can come there and it's not an issue.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks.
One of our questions had to do with the United States Constitution's are they living documents? Please answer,
Yes.
they are living documents. What makes them living documents?
Makes them living documents is, what I believe makes them living documents is that that they can be amended if it's voted on by the public.
But not decided by a judge.
No, sir. Not decided by a judge, one group of people. It,
I think that's where the difference is in thought for a living document versus it's concrete. This is it. This
Right.
is what we're living by.
Right.
If it changes, then it changes, but you don't get to make the changes.
Right. Correct.
That's for sure.
We're seeing that too much in our judicial system right now.
Mhm.
I don't believe we have that problem with our JPs, but we definitely have it in our courts.
John?
All right. So, we asked what the most significant issue in the race was, and you thought it's maybe that your opponent is running in the race alongside, or actually this race alongside your entry is the incumbent's brother.
Yes, sir.
And the incumbent is retired, right?
He's retiring at
So
the
he's
end of
got
this
the
term.
name recognition out there, and you think everybody's gonna think maybe he's running again without looking at the first name?
I don't want to say that the Republican voters are not smart, and that everybody does their homework like they should. But I believe they will get some from name recognition just because they see the last name and check the box,
Don't remember the first name.
click the box. Yes, sir.
I have to admit, I was a little confused when I was, so Billy Madison comes to a lot of our meetings. And then when I went to look up who all was in the race, I saw, well, Matt Marsden's name came up as the judge. And I was like, wait a minute, is that his real name? Or is that father, brother, cousin? And so, yeah, that might be confusing to a lot of people, or
Yes, sir.
just looking at that last name, because that mind's eye, that's what people are looking at.
Yes,
I
sir.
think. So, okay. How do you get around that? What's the plan to, and this won't be published till after, everybody's vetted,
And we decided.
and the membership has decided. So it'll be in January.
I'm not sure how you get around that, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Okay. All righty. Thanks for Bob.
Yeah, it's not like we haven't seen that happen here in Montgomery County with our congressman that is no longer going to be our congressman, just on his brother's name. So how do you feel about term limits?
I believe there should be some term limits.
What would your term be? I mean, we hear this a lot from candidates that are running, and then we get them to stay in Congress for 30 years.
I would have to say that it's probably 2 to 3 terms. It's probably is a good
2
number.
4-year terms.
2 4-year terms.
2 to 3
Yes.
4-year terms.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I don't think any, I guess, a elected position, voted on position should be a career.
Good. Now, y'all get continuing education as JPs, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And you would probably stay active in some of the law enforcement
Yes, sir.
CEs as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, Larry.
One of our questions was how many days off from the bench per year is reasonable for a judge to learn seminars, workshops, or teach education, or network with other county officials. Can you give us an overview of that?
Yes, sir. I would say that, well, when you first start, whoever's elected, when they take office, they've got to do an 80-hour new judges course to begin with, and there's a couple other 8 to 16-hour classes that need to be done in there your first year. And then after that, it's pretty much like law enforcement. It's 40 hours every 2 years for continuing education hours. So on average, you're looking a week, 2 weeks, a year. I would say for continuing education part of it. The other part of time off, or not really time off, but time, I guess, out or away from the office and courtroom. As long as you're out, wouldn't necessarily say like going to the Tea Party meetings or any of the other Republican Party meetings, because those are in the evenings. But if you're out at the chamber and you're representing the office, a couple, 3 hours, maybe a week, I would think would be, as long as you're out doing something in the community that's, you're not out just running around.
Okay. John?
So on the question regarding the 9 justices on SCOTUS, and which one do you respect the most and why? Which one do you respect the least and why? You basically said it's earned and subject to evaluation of person extending respect. So you don't have really anybody on the court that you would look up to that, basically kind of a known conservative that is the leader in that area?
If I had to choose one, so say a favorite one, I would probably have to go with Clarence Thomas. Just on his values, and how he's strong on state rights, which I think is important. He would probably be the one that I would choose. A least favorite? I don't think I really have a least favorite. I'm not sure I have a least favorite one.
Okay, what about the 3 liberal judges on the court?
Well, I mean, as long as they're upholding the Constitution, the way that it's written, and they're doing the job that they were hired to do.
Do you think they're doing that?
Probably not to the fullest, no.
Because there always seems to be a lot of times the Chief Justice is kind of the bellwether. Well, not necessarily the bellwether, deciding vote.
Right.
In between the
Pendulum.
2 groups, the conservative group and the liberal group.
Right.
Sotomayor, Tanya Jackson, and who's the other? Do you remember? That would be the 3. Okay. What?
It's a hard, you answered the question correctly. I'm just not sure how to get it done. The best way for an average voter to determine which judicial candidate is best. And it's getting the word out. How do you reach everybody when we don't have conservative TV or conservative newspapers? We don't have much of a circulation for newspapers anymore. Right. Are mailings or meetings or
meetings, meet and greets, word of mouth from friends, family, and just other people in the community. Facebook, passed out cards that have the website and the Facebook and stuff on it.
Are you doing all of that?
Yes, sir. And then, of course, coming up here shortly, in a week or so, you'll start seeing signs everywhere. So that's a big part.
Seeing signs right now.
Yeah.
Illegally.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of illegal ones.
I mean, yeah, just getting the word out is, best you can, and hope that people do their research and their homework before they go to the polls.
I have my sheet back.
I think not to get off topic, but I think, that homework and doing your research and stuff, a lot of people don't do it with all these propositions and stuff like that. You gotta do your homework.
Well,
they
he's,
don't understand
Right.
yeah.
half of them because of the way they're written.
Yes, sir.
And if people would just learn, if you don't understand it, then vote no.
Right.
Don't get it.
When we talk about the education, we talk about changing the Constitution. We just fell into that trap with this last election, where people didn't do due diligence and research and find out things. And some of those things were already laws that weren't being enforced.
Right.
And do you think having it in the Constitution is going to make any difference for enforcement if you already have it in the law for enforcement?
Not much.
Larry?
One of our questions was, to what extent do you believe the state or federal government should be able to obtain court orders directing parents to do things for their children that the parent does not believe should be done? Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, I mean, to me personally, I think the parents should have the say so on how they raise their kids. There's alternatives where if parents don't believe, or whatever they consider their beliefs, to where they shouldn't have the immunizations and all that type of stuff. Well, they don't have to go to public school. They could be homeschooled. They could go to a private school that doesn't require them. I mean, I don't think the state should have as much say so in what legal guardians do with their children.
Okay.
Did you, so one of our questions was in regards to the Paxson case. I'm not sure if you were understanding what we were asking. We're talking about Attorney General Ken Paxson.
Right.
And when they filed suit against him, it was Republican Party elected officials who filed suit against him. Did you follow that at all, or?
A tiny bit, not a lot.
Not really? Okay. So just briefly, it was kind of a lawfare case. Basically, it was like Trump at a state level. The lawfare to go after him to get him out of office because they didn't like what he was doing. He was making too much of an impact on filing suits against Biden, and as you would expect,
Right.
An AG to do if there's federal overreach. And yet we had rhinos that were going after him for him doing his job. Sometimes you may run up against that in the county and in your court. What do you do? Some people may be looking for protection. We see it all the time here. That's why we do what we do.
Right.
From that standpoint. What can you talk about that a little bit, and what your general feelings are about that? And I know if it got to corruption, it's going to be at a higher level, but
right.
You may have somebody that knows a public official over in Magnolia or knows him up in Conroe. How do you handle that? If you get a phone call, say, hey, he's a good guy.
To me, you got to follow the letter of the law. And I mean, if somebody's being corrupt, then they need to be dealt with.
Or breaking the law.
Right? Yes, sir.
If somebody makes a phone call and says, hey, Ashton, I know this guy, he's just a good guy. And he didn't mean to have those 8 drinks at, Bubba's down the street, it was his 3rd anniversary and they were just having a good time. So, I don't know. Is that something that falls in your court?
No, sir. That wouldn't fall into
That'd
JP
be-
court. That would be in a district court or
District court.
county court of law.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Or CCA, yeah.
Right.
Um,
So really, the only criminal that comes through the JP court is traffic citations.
Oh, okay. Oh, Ashton. Yeah, man, look, he didn't mean to drive 80 down that 40 mile an hour, road. I'm sure he misread that. Something you can do about that,
And my answer to that would actually be that he can discuss that with the assistant district attorney at the arraignments.
Yep.
That's not for me to decide. You can't do that.
I come from Louisiana. That happens all the time over there.
Well, and I'm sure it does
Can't
happen.
hear
I'm
it.
sure it does
Yeah, it
happen.
happens here.
That's
I haven't made that phone call yet, or had to have anybody make a phone call for me. Bob?
So I don't think that the public knows exactly what all the JP does. And can you put that out there to a certain extent?
what the JP does.
Yeah. As far as the cases that you see, and the types of things that would come to you.
You can list all the types of cases that would come through the JP.
Okay,
You guys
so-
can, like, legally, could you put that on a website or something?
No, I'm just
Oh.
saying to let the people
Oh,
know.
okay.
Some of the things that you're responsible for, is because we've talked about things that you don't have any purview
Right.
over. Can you give us some that you do?
Yes.
So that people know. I mean, I was going to ask about squatters, but I don't think you can do anything about squatters, can you?
Well, the law has changed on that.
Oh.
So squatters not necessarily go through the JP court, but the squatters' problems will go through the constable's office. That can be handled differently now. So JP court is technically a civil court. In civil, so they do the divorce papers, for serving the divorce papers, small claim suits up to $20,000. They raised it a couple of years ago from $10,000 to $20,000. Anything that would be $20,000 and $1 or more would go to county court or district courts. Evictions are a big thing for the JP courts, and then the writ of possessions that follow an eviction. They do handle the executions off of the judgments from the small claim suits, truancy papers, tax citations, any court documents that need to be served to an individual or to a company come through the JP courts. And then, like I said, the criminal side of it is the traffic citations that go through the JP courts. The only time a JP would actually have anything to do with citations is if they go through arraignments, which is a pretrial diversion, what they call them. And if they don't like what the offer from the assistant district attorney is, then they have the right to set it for a bench trial in front of a judge or for a jury trial. And that's when the JP would see a traffic citation.
Well, you also have to respond to deaths.
That changed January 25. The county actually went to a medical examiner, and they have 4 death investigators that handle that now.
Okay.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah.
I've seen enough of that.
So, but another thing you can do is weddings.
Yes, sir. You can do weddings.
So, are you,
If if I was elected to the JP of Precinct 5, I would not do weddings in the courtroom. No, sir. The reason I would not do weddings in the courtroom is because if you do one, you have to do them all.
right?
And my values don't allow me to do that.
Okay, Larry.
Well, I think I'm just about done.
All right. Do you and your opponent work together in the same office, or
Yes, sir.
do you?
Yes, sir.
So y'all know each other and you see
Very
each other?
very well.
Oh, okay.
Very
You
well.
work together, or?
So we have worked together in the office. He actually retired and then did a retire rehire. Came back and he's an SRO at one of the elementaries. So I mean we don't
SRO's,
school resource
school
officer.
res-
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we don't work say hand in hand every day in the office together. But, I mean we have in the past. We're friends. We get along. We see each other at the meetings. We see each other different places. We shake hands, say hi to each other.
So what differentiates you from Mr. Masden, you think, for this office?
For this office, I think the difference is going to come down to me just helping bailiff the courts for the last, almost 4 years, learning the ins and outs, how the court, works, that side of it. And my diversity with the civil part of it because of doing the writ of executions and the orders of sales side of it.
Okay. All right, Bob, any more?
I don't have anything else.
Okay, if you'd like, take up 5 minutes and we'll, for your closing, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. If you like.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to come and meet with y'all and kind of learn this side of this process. Like I said, when I first started, I'm not a politician. I'm a normal person. Don't plan on becoming a politician.
You think this is your last stop as far as political office, or
Yes, sir.
get back into the constable's office after JP? If you do the, you're pretty young, right? Three terms, not.
Yes, sir.
This is
2 to 3 terms, and
Yeah.
it would be time for somebody else to take over the reins. And
Yeah. Okay.
I would retire at that time. I wouldn't go back to law enforcement.
So you've been there 26 years, right?
Uh,
Or no,
look-
Montgomery County for 26 years.
yes, sir. But right at 21 years.
21
Fixing to
years.
start my 22nd year.
Gotcha. I see.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's about it.
Okay.
Thank you
well,
for your time.
What's your website?
So my website is Ashton Hedrick Campaign. Facebook page is also Ashton Hedrick Campaign.
Okay, great. Well, thank you.
And cell phone number is 713-423-4327. You can feel free to give me a call. You can meet with anybody in person, talk to them, or I'll talk to you over the phone.
Sounds good. Thank you for coming in. Good luck in your campaign.
Thank you.